is Jacqueline Church with Unfoodable Side Dish, and today we're here in the brand new Boston Public Market, and we're going to learn what makes this market so special. So I'm here with Tiffany Emig, Market Manager of the Boston Public Market. Tiffany, thanks for joining us today on Foodable Side Dish.
Thanks for visiting us.
I'm so excited to bring this to our viewers. One of the things I really love about this market are, as I see it, sort of two things that make it really unique. One is that everything here is New England sourced. So whether it's pulled from the soil, fished from the water, grown or produced from farm products, it's all New England based, right?
So it's really important to us to have the public market be a place where everybody can come, hang out, feel comfortable, and find things that suit their needs.
And then the second thing I think that makes us unique and sets us apart from other farmers markets is this focus on being a public access, public resource. And maybe you can talk a little bit about what that means and how that is enacted in the market.
It's sponsored by the City of Boston, and it allows people who use their SNAP cards to double their purchase of up to $10 a day. And that's good only for fresh produce, but that's great. That's the healthy things that we should be eating anyway.
I know that we've got some prepared food vendors and some pretty interesting and unique vendors here. Could you tell us maybe your top three that we should talk to today?
One of them being Appleton Farms. They're up in Ipswich. Noodle Lab, which is hand-pulled noodles with basically turned into ramen. They have a different recipe every day, so you never know exactly what you're going to get.
I had their curry ramen the other day.
It's delicious. And the other one is Hopsters. Hopsters is our source for local craft brews, ciders, and some craft wineries from around here as well. We think about local food as being food, but we forget about the beverage industry sometimes, which is really huge, and it links back to Massachusetts past as a big
cider
brewer.
And beer brewing were some of the first industries in Massachusetts, right?
That's right, that's right.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Massachusetts has a long history of brewing and cider making, so I'm really delighted that we have this here at the Boston Public Market. So Ben, why don't you tell us a little bit about Hopsters Alley? I think you come out of a craft brewing shop, right?
Hopsters itself started out its existence a couple of years ago as a brew pub and BOP establishment. BOP, brew on premise. The concept being that people who are interested in brewing but don't have access to, for example, homebrew facilities, themselves don't have the financial investiture, don't have the space, can come in, sort of rent our tank space and make themselves some beer.
And we're coming into apple season at this time, so I know a lot of cideries started in Massachusetts as well, right?
Cider has undergone a massive surge in both popularity and proliferation just in the last few years.
Thanks, Ben. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
So we're here at the Noodle Lab with Audrey Yap, and I'm really excited to show you one of the really unique vendors we have here at Boston Public Market. We know we have produce and we have meat and we have fish, but did you know you could get ramen at Boston Public Market? Who doesn't love ramen, right?
Right.
So Audrey, tell me a little bit about the Noodle Lab.
So we came up with the concept probably about a couple years ago. We were interested in doing a food truck, and when this opportunity came about, we felt like it's a great opportunity. We have restaurants out west, and I just brought the noodle portion of the concept out here, and that's how we came up with the Noodle Lab.
So Audrey, when I've come by here during the lunchtime hour, there's just a huge lineup here. So ramen seems to be as popular here as it is anywhere. Can you talk a little bit about some of what you've experienced from your customers?
Sure. It's great that we've really sort of have a niche and have a purpose, and we fulfilled that need in this community. And it's wonderful. It's been well received, and a lot of our guests really do enjoy. We've got regulars coming back, 2 or 3 times a week. So it's been great to see the familiar faces that come by.
I might have to try some for lunch myself, but I'm excited to share it at least on screen with the Unfoodable Side Dish audience.
Great, thank you.
So So we're here in the Boston Public Market kitchen with Mimi Hall, the program manager for the kitchen. Project Bread, whom I love, is coming to do a class.
Yeah.
But I know that you have programming for the whole spectrum of your audience.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe you could tell us a little bit about programming and your goals and your mission here.
You know, this is really a kitchen for all of Boston to enjoy. And this is fast, cheap, and delicious for less. So this is really free. You can come in during your lunch hour without registering. And
Just
you
a
can
walk-in kind of demo.
Absolutely. You know, what this is really all about is catering to folks who have really busy lifestyles and also kind of overcoming the whole myth eating a local food lifestyle has to be really prohibitively expensive or complicated, which is what makes the public market so special. So I'm with the trustees of reservations, and we're the founding partner of the Boston Public Market, and we're responsible for the programming that happens here in the kitchen. And really, our interest in this project is connecting people to the land and also making it accessible.
Excellent. Thanks so much for taking time to talk to us today on Foodable Side Dish.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Great.
So we're here at Appleton Farms booth here at the Boston Public Market, and I'm talking with Gannon Long. Thank you so much for being on Foodable Side Dish with us today.
It's great of you to have us.
I'm really excited to learn more and to share more about Appleton Farms.
So Appleton Farms is the oldest continuously operating dairy farm in the country. We've had it sort of since the, I think, late 90s, early 2000s, when Mrs. Appleton lived out her life on the farm. And now it's a working farm where people can come in, they can meet animals, they can see the cows being milked, they can see the cheese being made, they can pick up a few different items from the general store. There's a beautiful carriage space where folks can, you know, see the animals as well as their host dinners and things like that.
So I think one of the fascinating things about cheese is that the same cheese, same cows can have a seasonal effect. The cows that are eating spring grass, for instance, produce a milk that tastes different from the same cows eating the hay later in the season. So is that reflected in the cheeses as well?
Absolutely. And in addition to that, from the flip side, from the consumer perspective, you also think about eating cheese in different seasons. So definitely a change. And also just a small batch nature. You know, the farmers can't control every single thing the cows are eating. They don't know exactly what's going to, so how much they're making and all of this. So sometimes the wheels change a little bit in the taste, even if it's the same cheese. And that's also something that's really interesting, I think, to our customers coming in who like feeling connected to where their food is coming from. I mean, that's kind of the idea behind this market.
So Gannon, tell us about one or two of your favorite cheeses that you want to share with people today.
It's a tough question. Starting with Appleton, I think our Good Hue here is one of the really nice cheeses that they make. It's an aged Alpine, so it's super creamy. Again, the cheese, especially I think Massachusetts cheese, really reflects the quality of the milk that it's made with, and the cheesemakers go out of their way to strive to do that.
Thanks so much for joining us on Foodable Side Dish.
Thanks for having me.